We are live at the Super Bowl, the Sheraton downtown Midtown Manhattan. Our Super Bowl coverage brought to you by HDL, the official health and wellness partner of the Washington Redskins. And here he is, a man who's very healthy in his own right, Brian Baldinger. Baldy, how many Super Bowls is this for you in terms of coverage?
It's a lot, Larry. I think I've been involved in every one since 1990, Super Bowl 25. So that's almost 25.
And for the first time ever, you've got two teams that are number one in both categories, offensive and defensive categories. What made these teams so good this year?
Well, I think, first of all, I think for the most part, they were all pretty healthy. That was number one. Number two, they've had excellent quarterback play in both teams. And so as a guy that does games, when you get good quarterback play as an analyst, play-by-play, you kind of get out of the way. Let those guys go do their thing. And then I think, both teams have been excellent on their side of the ball. I mean, on defense in Seattle, where Dan Quinn came in, took over for Gus Bradley, and really revitalized that whole defense, turned it all around, added a lot of new parts. And then for Peyton, year two, I mean, he's even telling you, like last year he felt like he was a rookie. Now he's in his second year in Denver, and he's just so much more comfortable. And players that were good players before became great players.
We run into Baldy on the road on Compass Media. Does a great job with the commentary. And how do you like that role? You've done it at every level. And how does that compare in terms of course, there's nothing like playing. Does it even come close? What kind of buzz do you get out of doing the broadcast? I mean, you're in the action. That's what I love doing. That's when I get a chance to see this guy.
No, well, I tell you what, Larry, I mean, when I made that decision, to get into this, to this field, that's what I was looking to do, to stay close to the game. I didn't want to go all the way in, and coach and work those hours, Larry. I valued my
off-season. If they compensated you for those hours, though, you might consider it. That's a lot of compensation.
The compensation's changed, Larry. Okay, if I had to redo it all over again, maybe I might get suckered in. But it keeps me close. I love it. I love being down the field before the game, seeing a lot of our friends down there, seeing a lot of the new guys. Eyeballing, the next wave of kids coming through this league, and then watching them, the coaches tape during the week. But, I love my game days.
Heard a lot of your commentary on the Washington Redskins, and when a team wins 3 games, there is a lot to pick at. But I'd like to play it forward. And we talked before we started rolling about Jay Gruden. I mean, you're familiar with just about everybody in the National Football League. What does he bring to the party for the Redskins?
Well, I don't think he's a guy that is a big ego guy. I think he's just a football. The old cliche, he's a ball coach. He played in the Arena League forever. He coached in the Arena League. He just liked being a part of it. He went to the UFL. He's talked football with his brother and his dad, his whole life. He's been around the game his whole life. It's what he knows. And so he's had success, and now he's getting his shot. And so he has a lot of ideas. I think that he knows how to convey those ideas. I think when he stands up in front of the room, I think he's going to get respect. And they need a change in Washington. When you have the drop-off that they had last year, they needed a change.
So look into your crystal ball. What are some of the stories in 2014 we should keep an eye on? Regardless of who wins the Super Bowl, a lot of stuff in flux. I always like looking at Dallas because we don't like the Cowboys too much. And as I said, and I want your reaction to this, you got a new play caller, the third play caller in about a year and a half. But I believe no matter how imaginative a play call would be, you need execution. So things will not change in Dallas because Tony Romo's still the quarterback in the postseason. So, having said that, your crystal ball, sir.
Well, let's just start in our division. Let's start in the NFC East. It's nothing but change. The Giants just changed their whole coaching staff. They've got to really reconstruct their whole offense, and that's what they're trying to do. In Dallas, change is just the norm. That continues. All kinds of changes in D.C. right now. And the one place that looks like it's all on the up is in Philadelphia, where this guy came in, Chip Kelly, with a boatload of new ideas and new ways of doing things and challenging the old ways. And it's fresh. It's fresh. It's fun to watch. It's fresh. And so, to me, where Chip Kelly takes this in year 2, to me, he was the number one story coming into the league this year. And I think he's going to be the number one story going into the league next year. Can he elevate this thing?
Can Nick Foles do this again? Let's be honest. Can Nick Foles do it again?
Look, he's the MVP of the Pro Bowl. The only one of the quarterbacks in the Pro Bowl that didn't throw an interception. I think he's a product of a guy in Chip Kelly that really knows how to coach the position. his offense really understands how to space, where he doesn't have to make a lot of really hard throws every Sunday. A lot of these throws are pretty well defined, where to go with the ball. He's a smart guy. But can he put up those type of numbers again? That's the number one story.
Baldy, let's see you on the road. I remember when you got out of the game of football and got into the game of broadcasting, you had high hopes, and I hope you've realized all of your goals. I think you have. You can catch them on Compass every Sunday.
And Playbook tonight at 9 o'clock.
Any plugs you'd like to give here?
Playbook, Sterling Sharp, Sean O'Hara, Brian Baldinger, myself tonight. We'll give you everything you need to get ready for in the Super Bowl this Sunday.
Guarantee you'll be entertained. We'll be back at the Super Bowl in a bit on Redskins.com.